Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of Beyond the Final Whistle, Season 2. My name is Pila Peterot. I'm standing in for Senani Magisa. The IAAF came up with a new law for lowering testosterone levels on women. This recently came up in this past week. What do you guys think of this new law where women have to lower their testosterone levels?
The irony in this law is that you're trying to curb drug use, and then now you're telling an athlete to lower the testosterone by using drugs. That's the whole irony of this thing. The standards, the double standards of this whole thing. I don't want to play the race card here. The IAAF, I think most of the female athletes are complaining about Caster, and they shouldn't. It's a complaint from the athletes that's forcing the IAAF to make a ruling. And Caster's never tested positive for anything. So now they're telling him to take stuff to reduce the testosterone. It's nonsense.
It's also dangerous as well. I think I don't see, and I've never seen any study that has worked in the favor of lowering testosterone by taking these pills. It's very dangerous, and I think it's very malicious. It's targeting at Caster and those female athletes who have a high testosterone level. And testosterone is not something that you take. It could be, but it's not for those athletes. It's naturally built in their bodies, and it's a very malicious law to bring into the sport. And
I see that they're targeting events like the 400 meters, the 800 meters, the 1.5, I think as well. Within those events on its own, who else is a standout 400 meter for women that all these other athletes are complaining about? Because it seems like it's only 800 meters and 1.5 where Caster actually performs.
And they're telling her to go and run the 5,000 meters and without reducing the testosterone. There's something is not adding up here with this. I don't know how we're going to curb it, but something is definitely not right. You can't tell an athlete
to go run a specific event.
To run a specific. Caster is an 800 meter and 1,500 specialist. Yeah. She just broke Zola Bart's record that has stood for years.
34 years.
34 years. She has. Her work ethic is amazing. Caster has come back through this and won medals when she was taking this testosterone reducing medication. She has gone through a lot in the last 10 years of her career. Yeah. We can't put her through this again.
What can now one do? Athletics South Africa. What can they do to contest these new laws by the IAAF?
I think they can get Dalim Pofo to.
The head of the IAAF is Lord Sebco, who's an athlete, who's a middle distance runner. Now this is where this thing is amazing to me. Sebco is an Olympian. He won in '84. He's an amazing athlete. Yeah. He needs to jump in here because I think everything under IAAF is at his discretion. This is at his discretion because within WADA and all these doping agencies, somebody needs to sit down and say, guys, no, we can't do this, because she's getting pressure from other athletes. I remember the one Olympics where the athlete said, we can't compete with this. Looking at Caster, just train harder. She's obviously very talented.
But I think the actual problem is Sebco himself, because you have all this experience from competing in past Olympics, competing in past events. You be a champion. You know what it takes to be a champion. You know how to train like a champion. And then you come and you pass a law that enforces female athletes to take drugs to lower their testosterone levels. That's absolutely ridiculous. And I think it's Sebco's idea. And he wants, and from all the other European unions as well. And I think it's their sort of coup to eradicate the African ones, who seem to be the more talented and more dominant of the athletes. And it's not a 400 meter thing; it's an 800 meter.
Yes.
It's highly egregious, guys. What's happening? Because if you look at the lady that holds the record for the 800 meters, I mean, we've seen pictures. We've seen,
Navratilova.
I can't even pronounce her name. And now, are you telling me that her record is going to be scrapped now? Her record still stands.
Yeah.
And people celebrated her.
Yeah.
Now, when it comes to Caster, why the double standards? This is egregious.
Yeah.
And if Seb Coe is perpetuating this, because he's had a very rocky ride as head of the IAAF, Seb Coe. He's had a lot of things that he's been blamed for. He's covered up a lot of things.
Yeah.
I mean, the Russian thing, he's covered up. We know about it.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't understand why Athletic South Africa is sitting back and not attacking Seb Coe directly, because that's what you need to do. Be vocal and say this is nonsense. And nobody's saying anything. We're just on social media ranting about this thing.
How is the setup of the African athletic system? Because I mean, if we also had one body, almost like a CAF system, that could, because it can't just be only South Africa alone. I mean, there's other African athletes that are being targeted by this law.
I think it does need a stance from Africa, because it's. I think we need to have a united voice, because it's really malicious and targeting to the African athletes. It's not the Europeans that they have a problem with. And I think you're right. We need to have a systematic thing where we say we have one voice against.
If Caster was an American, I'll tell you right now, there wouldn't be an issue, because somebody in America would have already tried to unlock Seb Coe and called him out. And the Olympic Committee in the States is very much hands-on as far as the controlling of their athletes. Here in our country, we've got people at SASCOC who are just sitting in their offices and sipping coffee while this is happening. They're supposed to shake the tree. That is the IAAF, Seb Coe. We can't just sit back and watch this, because nobody said anything. All we're doing is we're on social media. This is happening on social media, and they're passing these laws. And Caster's still running in the Golden Leagues, the Diamond Leagues, and like nothing is happening. But in the background, they're trying to get out of next year's Olympics. That's what this is. And those are 2 gold medals that this, as a country, we need.
I guess that's where we'll wrap it for today. It is quite disappointing that the IAAF will go this route, I mean, and this low, to kind of curb someone's talent by trying to lower their testosterone levels by taking more drugs, basically. That's it from us at Beyond the Final Whistle. Join us again next week, and you can find us on social media at grid_sports. We've got our Facebook page. You can also go on our website, www.gridsports.co.za.